Hey, how's everybody doing? Metaphysical mama, what's up? I'm gonna do a little mythology today. Welcome, welcome if it's your first time visiting, and welcome back if you're coming back to hang out. I appreciate your time and your energy and you hanging out here anytime you appear, and just appreciate your period. So thank you for joining me today. And what's today? Today is Monday, President's Day. As far as right the calendar goes, just to and what's today? 20th? I think it's 20th. So we have the big huge portal coming up, 222, right? 0222 2022. So 222 222, right? Which is equivalent to 12 if we add all the twos, which we can then simplify to a three, right? Trinity. So that's a huge, huge Stargate portal day that we're approaching, and the energy is just here now, anyhow. And then also we have an asteroid coming through the solar system close to the Earth. Asteroid, it's like I forget the letters, but 1999. You can find more information about that, like at earthsky.org, or just look up asteroid near Earth, February 22nd. Um, and it's nothing like like asteroids are just feminine erratic, right? Rocks in an asteroid belt that, as we pass through the asteroid belt, or they open up the atoms that are dormant and asleep within our physical vessel. So as we, it's 110, continuously, go through this grand awakening, galactic ascension, whatever you'd like to name it, call it, or however you're experiencing it, nightmare, human evolution, right, rising of the Kundalini, chromosomes, right, 46 and 2. There are many different ways to, right, label it, describe it, call it, what we're all experiencing. So to be part of it together is something right off the bat to just be grateful for, right? I am, all the bumpy, all the scary stuff, all the confusing, chaotic, everything that makes us who we are, 111. So, this is like how they say, right, order out of chaos and what have you too. So, and so let's get into I opened my mythology book. Where is it? Where did I put it now? Like, nah, I had it opened. I had it opened. I closed it. I had it opened I opened to the story of Ra, but now I just opened to a different one. So let's see. The Birth of Skyholder, Ancient One and Old Woman. I'm gonna go with that because then look, here's the light. You could see the little pictures going on there. It's like super tiny writing, so I'm gonna have to definitely put my glasses on to share this with y'all. But there's actually, I'm happy that I had the book closed and we reopened to this. I can get into Ra too. Turtle Island. And the turtle kept coming up like all weekend. I kept because I was doing a lot of computer work this weekend. I had like like nature music on with like the sea behind me, like in the YouTube, like at the sea picture. So it was like turtles, a lot of turtles. It was really cute. The one that I had on, it was like this turtle big eye. It was like so that's really cute. Turtle Island. It was determined that soil from the bottom of the primal sea should be brought up and placed on the broad, firm carapace of the turtle. And that's totally what we're going through right now. And then there's a story like Gilgamesh and Utnapishtim. And Utnapishtim had Gilgamesh go like dive into the bottom of the ocean to find the plant of immortality, like the seaweed from the bottom of the ocean. So many of the heroes' journey, right? Mythology is the opposite side of the coin of history. So for any like historical buff and what have you, that's like on the surface, right? Mythology is the other side of that coin, right? Underneath the water, maybe what you don't see, right? That's like the things that we go through and feel inside, and like, all the things we experience in our lives. right? It's like the whole world is the stage. That's like the stories of our lives, right? It's like what's really going on. It's like we go to work, we do all these things, we're, operating and what people see, but then what's really going on underneath it all, right? Beneath the remains, underneath our skin, you know, all the thoughts and the feelings and the, right, the passion and the fantasies, and we wish we were somewhere else, and all that stuff that's going on while we're wherever we are doing whatever it is we're doing, right? In all of our moments. It's like there's lots going on in there, right? Okay. Excuse me. Hold on. We have to spark it up. Always having to spark it up. The medicine of life. Mama's medicine. Okay. So Turtle Island. The myths of the Iroquois and the Algonquin peoples of the northeastern U.S. share many themes and story patterns. Notable among these is the creation myth that has given North America the name by which many Native Americans know it, Turtle Island. In the words of Kath Johnson, a member of the Wyandot Nation of Kansas, we're all living on the top of the turtle's shell now. When she moves, it causes the earth to quake. The first mother. And look here, this is the face of Hadwai, the Iroquois whirlwind, a primal being of disease and death, carved into the living wood of a tree trunk. Hadwai was vanquished by Skyholder, grandson of Old Woman. With his nose broken, Hadwai promised to make amends for poisoning the earth by helping humanity. Let's see, the first mother. Only partially lit. And please like, subscribe, and ding the little belly bell. I'd love to see my subscribers like blow up, because then it shows like the algorithms and like aren't holding us down. It helps to show that we're growing and like moving into broader waters, the broad stream 5G spectrum and shit. We need some room. We need to expand. All right. Most tribes, this is the first mother, have their own version of this myth, in which Old Woman is expelled from the sky world. And that also goes into like Odin pushing like right, hell, right, Freya or whatever have you into hell, right? And what makes hell, created hell, HEL. So hell was like, well, F you, I'll just make my own domain then, right? It's like if somebody, right, kicks you out of someplace, which again, that was the reading I just did before this. Disheartened, what was it? Like disambiguation. I don't know. Anyhow, the reading I just did before this. Yeah, when we're in the mode of I just lost my whole train of thought. I'm just gonna start reading. Check that video out. So let's see. Most tribes have their own version of this myth, in which Old Woman is expelled from the sky world. That could also be right, Lilith, and becomes the first mother. One of the best recorded is that of the Seneca, the people of the Great Hill, who traditionally lived in what is now New York. An account collected from their chief John Arthur Gibson fills no less than 138 tightly packed pages. The Seneca call first mother, I'm going to butcher this, Igenci, which means old woman. And she is essentially the earth herself, the source of all food. The Penobscot of Maine tell that first mother sacrifices herself to save the first humans from starvation. She dies so that her power would be felt all over the world and that all men should love her. And that story can get a little twisted, yeah. not like all men should have a turn with her when she's right. Like that's not what like there's a when people take out of context like original secret stories and turn it into like disgust and like all that. It's like first of all, it does so much disrespect to what again the origin of the story means and where we all come from. So it's like everything has its time and place, but that isn't to place it that it's like right. All right, I got a funny joke for you. I'll tell you at the end. Maybe. One of these days I'll share it. Okay. It is old woman's grandsons who complete the creation. Oh, yeah, totally right. The 12 sons, the gods. To the Seneca, these rival creators are known as Skyholder and Flint. Yo, that's why I always call. I gotta take my slippers off. I always pull the Flint card in my crystal deck. We'll pull. I'm gonna pull one. Let's see if we pull the fucking Flint. And I'm always like yabba dabba doo, like Fred Flintstone, right? Like sparking a match. It makes me think of that every time I pull it. So known as Skyholder and Flint makes total sense. Or good mind and evil mind. Mm-hmm. And that's like right, the Sky Father and the Sun. As these names suggest, good mind is benevolent and arranges the earth to be pleasant for man, while evil man is malevolent and attempts to spoil the work of creation. Well, don't forget when day becomes night and night becomes day, then they flip flop. So, right, then the duality, 1202, come what it matters. Ancient One and Old Woman, Earthholder, the Ancient One, lived in the sky world. In the center of this world grew a great tree that bore flowers and fruit and sustained all those who lived there. Earthholder took Old Woman to be his wife, and she became pregnant by inhaling her husband's breath. But Earthholder became jealous and suspicious and began to waste away. Right, because of the sun. He dreamed that the answer to his problems was to uproot the great tree. So he pulled it out, leaving a gaping hole in the floor of the sky world. Earthholder called Old Woman to look through the hole, and when she came, he pushed her through it. As she fell, I've never read this story. As she fell, she grasped seeds from the tree with one hand, the left hand of the Sphinx, and a tobacco-scented root with the other. Old Woman fell toward the water, which then covered the earth. The ducks saw her fall and wove their wings together to catch her. And then the great turtle rose from the underworld and with the curve of his shell made a resting place for her above the water. Wow, that's like really beautiful story. The muskrat made Old Woman more comfortable by bringing mud for her to rest upon. A muskrat. A new world. A muskrat, like the Three Musketeers. I just watched Man in the Iron Mask over the weekend too. So a muskrat dove under the water and brought up mud. Sorry, my tea's 122. Almost done. It's being loud over there. It's got attitude. It's talking. All right. A muskrat dove under the water and brought up mud, which he smeared on the turtle's shell. As the surface began to expand, Old Woman released the seeds and the root that she was holding. The earth was soon covered with plants, and a new tree grew from the root. Old Woman built herself a lodge beneath the tree, and there she gave birth to a daughter, who in turn became pregnant by the wind. The daughter heard two voices inside her, arguing about which should be born first. One voice was gentle, the other harsh and rough. "If you don't let me out first," said the second voice, "I shall force my way out." And the child, with the rough voice, burst out of his mother's armpit. What? All right, I'm on live right now, so I'm not gonna just like put that right now. I can't even like. Am I supposed to share that? I had to have a surgery once a while back. I had like this thing that started growing under my armpit, and it was like just this little like tiny bump, right? Like the Princess and the Pea. It was so tiny, and then it got like more bigger. It was like a cyst or what have you. So, and then it started hurting like, underneath my arm. So I had to have it removed like a few years back now, probably 6 years ago or so. I don't even know, somewhere around there. So that is like, yeah, that just made me like, yeah, stop in my right deer tracks for a minute. Like, oh Lord, out the armpit. So funny. All right. Anyhow, well, my history. So yeah, the birth of Skyholder. Old woman's daughter had just enough strength to give birth to the other child before she died. She was the first to die, and to make a path from this world back to the sky world. The boy born from her armpit was called Flint, and his heart was cold and hard. The other boy, Skyholder, was warm and loving. Because it's still out. The first people. When the boys were grown, they decided to enlarge Turtle Island. Flint created the mountains and hills in the west, while Skyholder made the valleys and meadows in the east. "You're making it too comfortable," said Flint, and he did everything he could to spoil the new land. He even stole the sun and hid it in the southwest, although Skyholder won it back. Flint had created winter. Skyholder saw his own reflection in a pool of water. Taking some clay, he made 6 pairs of humans in his own image. Genesis 3. The first man and woman of the 6 nations of the Iroquois. So that's badass. Turtle drums and rattles. The turtle's shell, with its associations with creation, plays a prominent role in the rituals of Native American peoples. The Iroquois fashion rattles from the whole shell, with the handle representing the head and neck of the turtle. Such rattles are used by healers to exorcise illness. I have mine somewhere over there. Mine's like Peruvian now. I don't think it's not made from turtle shell. The Mandan of the Great Plains used 4 drums representing turtles in their central ceremony, the Okipa, or buffalo calling dance. Buffalo soldier. The Chumash people used turtle rattles filled with pebbles for music making when curing illness and for teaching children. Mm-hmm. I used to have a beautiful rain stick too. I loved that thing. One of the things I lost in my times of everything getting right, like taken. But yeah, I miss that thing. I really, really enjoyed. I loved that. I had that for years. Let's see. The brothers in conflict. Skyholder taught the people how to live, but every good gift from Skyholder was matched by a bad gift from Flint. I don't think any of those things are bad. I like winter. I love mountains and hills. Anyhow, one man's right. Garbage is another, or whatever is another man's treasure. But every good sky little gift from Sky Holder was matched by a bad gift from Flint, and so disease and evil came into the world. Whenever Sky Holder made a healing plant, for example, Flint made a poisonous one. Well, it's true because everything has duality. Everything has to have its equal or opposite. So, yeah, I mean that's just nature. Eventually, Skyholder challenged and beat Flint, imprisoning his brother in a cave. Uh, Skyholder also vanquished other enemies of humanity, such as the whirlwind, the wind, and the fire beast. He made the stars, the sun, and the moon, and when his work was done, Skyholder followed his mother's path up to the world in the sky. So that's cool because right at first it was just whirlwind and wind and fire whipping all over. So they all needed to be placed somewhere and had something done with them, right? And like a mother, if the mother was already good, it's like great. I said it all the time. It's like I don't know what to do with it. It's like I just know what to do naturally as a mother. I don't know everything. I just only can know like it's like great if something's wrong or if somebody needs help. I have compassion. It's like I don't know specifically like oh that's what it is and this is all that like right. That's more again masculine like Ray, a wife is like I don't know what to do with this, right? That's our like divine right or this is going on, and then right the intellect, the masculine figures out, and that's within ourselves too, but then you can also take that into context as we have looked in right like man woman child right the what's it called say the archetype, the energy that comes with right such titles, names, labels, etc, right that all right um So yeah, forming things, putting things into their place, giving things a place, a destination, a form, a name, right? Adam names things too. So it's like, right, this is what that's called. That it's like, I don't know, what do we do with this? What do we have? And it's like, right, I don't know what to do. What do we do? Right? Adam names things, but that doesn't mean, but then where we are like, oh, but if, as a mother, right, if we're the mother of it, it's like this child is this, it needs this. And then right? But the father also has that intuitive, that's, but that's divine feminine within the masculine or the male anatomy of the body, etc. Right? So we all carry these energies. It's balancing them out again, right? This is Inner Alchemy Metaphysical channel. So it's a little of everything and a lot of nothing, yeah. And always take what resonates and leave the rest because look at how we're right. This is like written. This is these things are way before right. Religion was made or Bible or any right. These are how the stories that have made creation through generations of time. The stories that have been passed through right, and then what we've all turned them into with our language and put them in books and stories and made religion and made invented and all this other right that's been given throughout time throughout the generations. Right? So I'm going to read this as well. Daughter of the Sun. And please like, subscribe, hit the bell again. Soul Tribe, thank you so much for hanging out. I so appreciate, and you know, the more we energetically, you know, put in you being here, we're growing, moving, changing things. Yeah, never think ever for a second, like right out the story and right out of the strength of a mustard seed, or right telling a mountain to move, right? Like meaning right like this big blockage is in my way, obstacle. It's like wait, I need that removed, so I have clarity, transparency, freedom, space, movement. Right, I let go of no longer what no longer serves me. I leave it with unconditional love, and I don't need to necessarily know what it is. I only need to know right? What I need to know in the now, and I let that be. I don't have to know, right? I don't have to worry myself with what I don't need to know. What I need to know will come directly to me, right? 133. So it's a little different way of, you know, it doesn't mean like, oh, we just sit around like you do, No, right? We're participating, but we have awareness, conscious awareness that that's how it best serves us to operate. So we put our energy in, and then we allow, right, what needs to come in. We're leaving space for that to come on in, right? Make sense? All right, the origin of death, Cherokee territory, Georgia, North and South Carolina, and Tennessee, that kind of area. Cherokee, southeastern US, James Mooney, Myths of the Cherokee, as told by Swimmer. James Mooney, interesting. Moonies, I'm familiar with that. Okay, the sun, the moon, her brother and lover, the daughter of the sun, spreading adder, copperhead, rattlesnake, and uktina, 4 men turned into snakes. In Cherokee legend, the heart of the sun once grew so intense that the people decided to kill her. But unfortunately, they mistakenly killed her daughter. The sun was so devastated by her loss that she locked herself away, and the world grew dark and cold. Story of Demeter. Fearing the earth might die, the people resolved to rescue the daughter and went to bring her back from the dead. They nearly succeeded, but at the last moment, she escaped from them. Plot synopsis. The sun and her daughter. When the sun was young, she had a lover who visited her only at night and refused to let her see his face. Right? Story of Apollo. One night, she rubbed ashes on her lover's face to see if she could later identify him. On the following night, as her brother the moon rose in the sky, the sun noticed with horror that his face was covered in spots. The moon was so ashamed that from then on he stayed as far away from the sun as possible. The sun shone so intently that the people could never look at her without squinting. But they smiled at the moon. Jealous and angry, the sun began to burn more and more fiercely until people began to die from the heat. The people became desperate and decided to kill the sun. The sun lived on the eastern side of the sky vault, and her daughter lived in the center. Every day, as the sun climbed the sky arc toward the west, she stopped at her beloved daughter's house for her midday meal. The people knew this and decided to use this routine as part of their plot to kill her. 2 men were turned into snakes, the spreading adder and the copperhead, and sent to lie in wait for the sun at the door of her daughter's house. But when she arrived the following day, her light was so blinding that the spreading adder could only spit out yellow slime when he tried to bite, and the copperhead just rolled away. A daughter's death. Ooh. Okay, the Cherokee believed that the sun still sometimes cries for her daughter, and her tears fall as rain. And buzzards create Cherokee country. In the beginning, the world was just water and sky. All animals were living in the sky, but it became crowded. So the water beetle dived into the water to see what lay below. He brought up some soil, which then grew to become the earth. The shapes of mountains and valleys were then forged by a buzzard's wings as they flapped up and down. The earth remains attached to the crystal vault of the sky by 4 cords. And when those cords wear out, the earth, it is said, will sink back into the water. Okay. So a daughter's death. The people did not give up. A third man turned into a rattlesnake, and a fourth into a huge unctina snake. The unctina's blood was poisonous, and his look alone could kill. So he seemed the perfect candidate to kill the son. The two snakes went to the daughter's house to lie in wait. But when the door opened, the rattlesnake rushed forward blindly and struck the person standing there. It was the son's daughter, and she died instantly. The pleas of a ghost. The son was filled with grief for her daughter. She locked herself away, and the world lost all light and heat. So the people vowed to bring the daughter back from the darkening land. They traveled there and found her dancing with ghosts. They captured her and put her in a box, but were told on no account to open it. All the way home, the girl begged them to let her out. First, she said she needed to eat. Then she was desperate to drink. Finally, she said that she couldn't breathe. Talking about that before, right? George Floyd. I can't breathe. First duality. So the people opened the lid of the box, just a little. There was a fluttering sound and the cry of a red bird. Quish, quish, and something flew from the box. The daughter of the sun had turned into a red bird and flown away. So she dead, or they're trying to like capture something. Yeah. Right? Maybe they shouldn't be messing with it. I don't know. Just an observation. Okay. The healing power of laughter. When the man returned without her daughter, when the men returned without her daughter, the son's grief was overwhelming. She wept so hard that she flooded the earth. People tried to cheer her up, but it wasn't until an expert drummer began to play with a humorous rhythm that she started to smile, and the world was again filled with light. Since then, the sun's heat has never changed, but people still cannot look at her without squinting. A Kiowa boy participates in a corn dance ceremony in New Mexico. Dancing propitiated the spirits of the hunters, prey such as buffalo, and also of the three sisters, corns, beans, and squash. Succotash. For the celebrated Kiowa gourd dance, rattles are traditionally made from dried squash. And yeah, I was gonna say before, like Morocco, you can like, yeah, like using gourds and stuff like that. It's pretty beautiful. So I'm gonna probably just leave this short and sweet, guys. I like really enjoyed sharing that with you all. I hope you enjoyed. And these are kind of those are my favorite stories, like the Native, Navajo, Native American, Native, um, and like yeah, stars, anything with the stars. So yeah, anything cosmic and anything Native, um, having to do with spirit and what have you. And also, and see, when I say spirit, like I'm not really like not religious. It's like right now, it's like that's what I'm referring to as spirit. It's the spirit of life and everything, right? The great spirit. That's how I'm definitely I'm a lot more yeah, like I said, native than any kind of religious spiritualist. But I love everything. I love all like again, everything is beautiful. I love all of it. I love all of it. But and then where's my book? Because I'm gonna here it is. This is such an old book. I've had this for look, it's falling apart. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna read this. So, and it's like a nice, easy, quick read. This is really important for say twin flames, for remembering to wake up, for having like right ones that put you in hypnotic a sleep state. This is about remembering. This is a really, 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 really good book. And also another easy, super easy, thin read by John Steinbeck, The Pearl. That's something to also like reference to like now. It's like great. The pearl's like the apple. Once somebody has something that other people want, people are like willing to do anything to like harm others to get it or take it, or they want it or they become obsessed with it, and so much damage happens just because of jealousy and envy, right? Or because people think, right, whatever, jealousy and envy, rage, bitter, right? Be wary of the bitter waters of wormwood. That's all, folks. So I'm gonna pull one card though from the map. The map. The map. 144. The map. The map. What we got for our soul collective mythology Monday? Where's Mercury today? I'm having problems talking. Ooh, beautiful. Wide open. Put it in the light. Shadow and light. So wide open. That's what's up. Oh, haha. And at the bottom of the deck, flying. Right? Flying up out of that labyrinth, that maze. Right? The mental monster that we can get entrapped in. Flying high again. Oh no. Here we go now. So that's beautiful. The little butterfly up there. Little butterfly. So those are beautiful, beautiful cards to end on. Wide open, flying, ready. Look under that. Metamorphosis. I mean, can we ask for any more? So hang in there, soul tribe. You know, remembering our roots. Right. Stormfields is under that, right? Because this is how it feels. This is like you know, but and then Peaks of Joy is in reverse underneath that. So I'm not gonna right, but it's wide open. Remember, we have the ability to fly. We have the ability to make what seems really into amazing, beautiful things, so that we don't get made just part of the background, right? This is your metamorphosis. This is your evolution, right? We're the ones we've been waiting for. So you allow yourself to shine, bloom, etc. I know it's hard because I have a hard time too. I'm saying it to myself too. It's like, you can do it, right? We gotta allow ourselves to be who we are with no apologies, but also being humble and just like, right, accept it and like being in our now moment. That's like, hold on, I don't gotta like rush over there and be hammering at the whatever, right? I can appreciate that I am going through this, and I'm gonna honor that. I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to honor you. I'm going to honor those others that are going through this. And right. I love this song. All right, wait, one more. It's Monday. Let's pull a moon card for Monday too. Open wide. Granny's playing. My day. I want to be seen. You and your loved ones are safe. That's nice to hear after the story we just read. But that energy is definitely going around. A lot of us that are feeling set up, trapped, set up by other people to say, right, and like, and have been for like pretty much our whole lives, is what it is, you know. But we've already like we've gone like they don't. Again, a lot of beings don't know the struggles that we've all gone through to get to where we are now. So it like looks like things don't bother us, but it does. We just have learned, unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately, to not engage and put so much of our energy into those things, because we got told a long time ago that there's like, right, those people, places, and things are all dysfunctional. So then in order for us to get better as we're healing, right, becoming aware of knowing that when you're getting better, other people are going to get upset when you're starting to heal because you're pulling now away from them, and you were part of the energy that was in that comfort zone. So once you start to move and detach and change and go through metamorphosis and etc., you're going to make other people uncomfortable too. And they may get upset with you. Why do you think you're doing that? You're supposed to do this. You said you were this. That's not you. That's not your job. Right? But that's because of feelings of envy, jealousy. Again, that comes from immature, again, dysfunctional codependent behaviors, which is alcoholism and addiction, which runs rampant throughout the energy. That's what the United States energy is, unfortunately. It's just is what it is. Anybody that wants to have confliction with that, I mean, it's fine, but it's like you're still going to eventually have to take a look at that, because we all do and did, and so, and still do. So I mean, it's just like, it's just part of, you call that demon, Satan, devil. It's Algol star system. Look it up, so you have more knowledge of like what I'm saying, not just sounding like a cartoon character or like somebody that just speaks in like fantasy novels or like talks out of like fairy tales. Because fairy tales, the tales of fairies was here before human, right? Before man, before, Genesis, the genes of Isis 3 had an idea to make 6 more, to make, I got an idea. Yeah? No way, Yahweh. Oh, work through your fears, Scorpio. And that's what we're doing. And Scorpio is here again. And Cancer is mother and daughter. So the mother and daughter, which we just read about, that represents Cancer, which people call a disease in the human, right? Like, but why? Well, because they, something was what happened before. So wait, but this is still that's still happening right now. There's still separation from mothers and daughters. There's still, there's that's still going on right now. I'm a guy too. Look, I have my little crab bracelet here too. My little Cancer copper, silver, and copper, silver, Chester copper pot. Goonies never say die. And Scorpio, that's Pluto, endings, right? So is again cutting off what no longer serves us, and that protects the divine mother and the daughter. Like, and think of, what did it say? Hills, valleys, and meadows. Last I knew was the valley of the shadow of death, right? So because stories get made to look like the other one's the bad guy, sometimes it's like, wait, hold on a second. The one that's painting the picture saying that they're the good guy might be painting that picture, obviously, so that you go running that way and think the other one is, just to throw that out there. So be wiser than serpents. Don't fall for the okie dokie. Don't allow someone to cast out a fishing line and pull you and catch you like a little fish, because don't forget, Jesus Christ, this actors, crisis actors, they'll do and say anything for a buck or for some attention or to bring you over, right? Like, hey. So, don't forget that J is silent, that J hook. Originally, the J was silent, right? Hey, you, Esau, hey, you, or hey, Sue, or hey, right? Like, meh. And I don't know. I mean, for me, let me just here's a little quickie. A time for healing. The sun always makes me sneeze. When I look at the sun, I'm like, Chin! And literally, have faith in your dreams. They're so pretty. A time for healing. Have faith in your dreams. And it was, some say Jesus, some say, adjustments are required. A time to release negativity, work through your fears again. And communication is key, Gemini, Muckery. Yeah, the sun always makes me sneeze, and I'm like, when you sneeze, it's like, achoo. So I'm like, is that why it's like Yeshua? Like it's like Yeshua. Etymology, vibration is my thing. So I I tend to dig a little too deep, right? They say analysis paralysis, but it's like, yeah, no, I just haven't gotten to past the root yet. Just see where that thing popped up from, right? Because it's like, right, this, my beautiful, look at this basil plant. It looks like a marijuana plant. Look at this thing. It's so, and it smells so good. And he needs some water. Need a little water there, baby? I'm gonna take you out of the sun for yeah. Let him have a little break. He's hanging out in the window, like, which he loves it there, but they like it a little more on the chill side. I've come to know. I've come to learn. All right. I think I'm babbling long enough. Y'all again, I appreciate you guys, your time and energy. I so appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. Please like, subscribe, little dingy the bell, and I will see you next time, Soul Tribe. One love. Peace out. Be well.